Tell you what I'm gonna give you, Snakes. I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no-good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry.
I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. 1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little intro homage to Home Alone as I sneak up and troll these two snipers. Anyways, I wanted to do a tips and tactics for the submachine gun class, and you'll be able to apply them to both the Axis and the Allies because the MP40 and the Thompson both handle very similarly. Now, I think the developers have done a really good job in balancing the submachine gun versus the other classes. Submachine guns are designed for close quarters combat, so when engaging a rifleman or light machine gun at range, you're at a serious disadvantage. The accuracy and damage drop-off means that you really need to engage your enemy in tight quarters. You can see that here as I engage these two enemies on bikes. With a rifle or a light machine gun, I probably would have been able to take out both of them instead of just one. Now in tight quarters, the automatic rate of fire gives you a clear advantage over a rifle, while the ability to hip fire on the run lets you outmaneuver light machine gunners in close quarters combat. You'll see that on display here. Coupled with a little bit of teamwork, I'm able to lay down suppressive fire as I sprint up and overwhelm this machine gun position. Now I haven't been able to find any official statistics for these weapons, but in real life, the Thompson M1A1 had a fire rate of 700 rounds a minute, while the MP40 had one around 500 rounds a minute. And I do think in the game the Thompson has a slight advantage over the MP40. Now coming up here, you're going to see the bread and butter for these submachine guns, and that's tight close quarters combat. Here you're going to see me strafing and using hip fire primarily. Typically I won't aim down sight in close quarters combat, because in these extreme close ranges the hip fire is very accurate. In my opinion, this is the ideal way to use the class. Get in and clear out the objective buildings. Hold your ground and clear out as many enemies as you can. Ideally, you want to clear buildings in groups. The more firepower, the better. Playing on the Allied side, I often notice a complete lack of combat common sense in a lot of players. What I mean by this is you see players advancing one by one, straight at an objective, unprotected, ignoring the flanks, and just getting slaughtered. Also, players that drive the troop transports or jeeps will get it loaded up with infantry and then go barreling straight at an objective and get immediately taken out by a Panzerschreck or enemy tank. Players need to be more battlefield aware. They need to notice that if one flank has less players, then they should probably attack that flank and need to advance together in unison rather than one by one at the objectives. When this happens, you're able to overwhelm the enemy with numbers and firepower. I remember when I first joined Heroes and Generals, the Allies won that war. Every war since has been a sweeping, dominant victory for the Axis. And as far as individual battles are concerned, I'd say it seems like the Allies only win 1 out of every 4 or 5 battles. It's extremely frustrating to lose almost every battle, and as Allies, we need to work better as a team and take the fight back to the Axis. Okay, so enough of that little rant. Anyways, back to submachine guns. When you're out in the open terrain like this, you really need to move as fast as possible, continually advance. And when you do get engagements, try and shorten the distance between you and the enemy that's attacking you. That'll put the advantage back into your favor. You can see here I'm shooting and scooting, advancing my way back to the objective. Now here you'll see that teamwork I was mentioning earlier at work. The whole round has been basically a stalemate over this one position. Towards the end of the round, with both teams down on tickets, the Allies finally started to make a cohesive push. Here I push into the building much like I did earlier and just hold my ground, taking out enemies until more and more troops can slowly push in and overwhelm this position. Now my comrade who also entered this building ended up getting killed. And another good tip is, if you find yourself alone on a capture point like this, hold off on trying to cap it until you have reinforcements. Continue to harass and pick off the enemy until they arrive. The more that the enemy focuses on taking you out, the easier it is for friendly troops to advance. To sum up, use your class to its strengths. For submachine guns, that's close quarters. If you find yourself in a long-range engagement, use cover and swift movement to close the gap. Fight the enemy on your terms. I was able to apply those tactics successfully to this map, and combined with good teamwork, the Allies ended up with a much needed victory, and overall I think I went 34-9. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and a comment below. Also hit the subscribe button for more content from my channel. See you in the next video.